Hey guys, it's Wednesday morning. Hi. And down on 18th and Emerson. I'm gonna do it another seat. Fuck. Hancock. Sorry. So. Okay,
I feel like Gary kind of pushed the
be careful.
Yeah.
Careful, don't get run over. Hi.
That is a goal for the day.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. David, hi David. So can you believe this? You know, where are these? I guess the question is, where are they supposed to go, right? Stop the street, Hancock. F you, Hancock.
You know, like, I don't think you're ready yet. Yeah, I don't think that's about, but I haven't seen a couple of those out there, so I don't know, maybe they're doing this isn't.
We need to call Hancock.
I don't know. It was District 6. You gotta be careful.
I brought some sandwiches too. Hi, I'm Carol.
Jesse.
Oh, I brought some hot sandwiches.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, they're hot. They're like breakfast sandwiches. So.
Awesome. I like
Yeah.
your gloves.
I know, aren't they cute?
Yeah.
And colors, see? Here's my gloves. I'm Carol, Jesse. Can I say my name? I'm
Yeah, Carol. And I'm Jesse.
Yeah, I know.
I know.
Oh, that's great. I love you guys. That's great. I think I know if you have met me before.
Yeah.
What is it? We were at the, I think there's city council meeting together, so next to each other.
What's up?
A long time ago.
Yeah, just get come pretty close here. So be careful.
I know.
I mean, they're going pretty slow.
Yeah, but don't step back.
I could use that
don't back
road
up.
sign. What?
Move the road
That
sign.
road sign just so it blocks the whole lane. I can move this in a little bit for you.
Oh,
Wait a minute. That's probably a better idea.
You can't. I'm just kidding. Oh, you want him to come over here and go. See, we're like in the street. That's a good idea. She's moving the sign, so. Hi. How you doing, sweetie? Good. I brought some sandwiches. Some hot sandwiches. Breakfast sandwiches. So. Yeah, I wanted to go somewhere. I couldn't sleep last night at all, and then I finally fell asleep, and I like slept later than I wanted to. Wanted to be here earlier. Celeste, hi Celeste. Fuck Hancock. Sleeping with rakes. So, is everybody there? Are they getting moved, or are things being thrown, or what?
There's already been 4 tents that have gone. I mean, whether or not they were all abandoned or not, we're not sure. But some of the residents we know sought shelter elsewhere today.
Okay,
Last night, 'cause
yeah.
It's fucking freezing.
It is fucking freezing.
So
I'm sorry, my
no,
language.
that's all right. I trust just like anybody. Yeah, I mean, these folks have been here for a couple months, and some of them moved, some of them left. But yesterday there was like 15 or 16 folks here, and I do not see 15 or 16 people here right now. So I'm assuming some of those.
Yeah, there weren't last night when I came by either.
Okay.
So
I don't know if they were.
I was here a couple.
yeah, that's what I mean.
I was just here a couple of weeks ago with Tara. We came over here with our extra food after the thing,
They're a
so.
really sweet camp. Like, they're
Yeah.
nice folks. I haven't really spent too much time, but a couple times I've stopped by, they're all real friendly. And
Uh-huh.
Well, I mean, like most of them, they just
Yeah.
and this is a plastic surgery clinic. Like,
Isn't that ironic? There's a plastic surgery clinic right there.
that's what I shouldn't say here. That's what people want to get paid, basically.
Oh my god. Marie, my heart. Fuck Hancock.
23 cannot come soon enough. It's just
Tell me
crazy
about that.
Oh, just the mayoral election. I mean, we have 2 more years of Hancock,
Oh, I know.
and we really can't afford it in this city.
Uh-huh.
Ironically, the police union just turned against him, so now it seems like literally everybody hates Hancock, which isn't necessarily a good thing,
No.
because, you know, the police union might want someone who's even tougher on crime and homelessness, but everybody fucking hates Mayor Hancock, and this is his.
Yes.
This is his legacy. This
Yes.
is the only thing that he will be remembered by a lot of people in the city, is this shit.
Yes.
And like, that's a pathetic legacy to leave after 12 years.
It is.
So if he chooses to continue this for another 2 years, then that's the legacy he fucking deserves.
Yeah.
I apologize for cussing.
I know, me too. Good morning. Yeah.
About 45 minutes, then all this stuff will be clear.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, yeah, sure. Say about 45 minutes, it'll be clear.
Christabel, like, sweetheart, isn't this awful? Fuck Hancock. So, everybody that's been here wasn't here this morning, so hopefully they found a place to go. I guess there's been about, what did he say? 4, 5 tents removed so far. And that guy just said 45 minutes and it'll all be gone. Awesome. So, where though, huh? Good morning.
That's Adam. He's the Bodie supervisor.
Especially, I think I
You can put this in the back. You see it? It's a hole in there. Can you just slide in there? Yeah.
What are those?
Okay, where's that?
Thank you.
Good, I'm glad.
Huh?
Oh, she got a sandwich. I said, oh, good, I'm glad. He's very, very, I love you, honey. I love her.
Yeah. I don't know how long they're gonna stay warm. You want to start these up.
Everybody brought food. There's coffee.
What's in here? Any meat?
Yeah, there's turkey.
Okay.
Turkey and eggs and cheese.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
We should probably,
They smell great.
They do smoke turkey. I don't want turkey gravy. From last night, I had leftover gravy last night. From last night at the feed. So there's gravy in there too. Here. So just, I hope. Just. And I use this turkey in front of the food bank, so. And the brand.
Go. Yeah, someone. Need help? Yeah.
Can we get that carpet?
Oh, I thought.
No, we're good.
You guys. Yeah, I got it. They got it.
Small victory.
Yeah, small victories, right?
I'm Casey. Hi, I'm with Food Not Bombs. What? Okay. I'm with Food Not Bombs. Oh, hi.
Oh, is that okay?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. What's up?
You seem a little hyper. Did you have enough coffee?
I've been here since 3 a.m.
Oh, good.
Do you want some coffee?
Nice to meet you. I'm
okay,
Anna. I'm
okay.
with Denver Homeless Out Loud.
Awesome. I recognize you from being around. So I used to, Food Not Bombs used to cook at the not the DHOL house.
I used to do Food Not Bombs in the 90s in DC.
I did it in the 2000s in Denver, and it looks a little different than it used to.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, it does, doesn't it?
Oh, you can't see my white hair with the hat on.
Your hair has turned white over the last couple of years, right?
I'm a lot older than that, so.
Yeah. Can I get the cart, guys? Can I get the cart?
So, hi.
But let me know if you want me to pay.
I got sandwiches over there, so they're hot. So.
It's amazing that you
I got hot sandwiches over there, so.
I have allergies. What's in it?
Oh, turkey and cheese and eggs. And there's turkey gravy, but that's it.
I can't do tomatoes. A lot of people put tomatoes or peppers, and I can't do either.
Nope, no tomatoes or peppers today. You're welcome, sweetie.
Turkey, eggs, and cheese. You can do that, right?
Yep.
You have them while it's warm.
Yeah, they're warm right now. I just took them out of the oven. I couldn't sleep last night, and I just couldn't sleep, and then finally I fall asleep, and then I missed my alarm.
Oh,
You know.
I fell back asleep after my alarm went off today, too. It's like 2 days in a row, I just feel a little tired.
Yeah, I'm sure you are, honey.
I always have another 10 minutes.
Yep. Put me about out. Yeah. Colson, this is extreme. We have put our resources together. We have to put our resources together and buy a building or two. That would be awesome. What about all the empty buildings around? Hotels. It is a disgrace. And this kind of weather, just sweeping people away, sweeping people's lives. There's no place to go. And, how are they supposed to get ahead? How are they supposed to survive if they can't? If they have to keep starting over with no help? But hopefully it'll change you, right? Hi. Do some squatting, right? I need some coffee.
Building right up like the next block over.
There's an empty building right up. Yeah, they're just talking about that on my stream.
Literally right there, and it's like there's a covered space. They could actually put people in this parking lot. It's empty. It's city owned, and they won't do it.
But they don't tell them where to go. I mean, they don't give them a place to go.
But right there, literally a block.
Just
that
a block away.
In Emerson, like at Cross Park, it's right there.
And the building is empty.
Empty parking lot is perfect for people. There's like coverage for the weather. It's just unbelievable that they won't let them go there.
It's amazing. It's freaking amazing.
Yeah, you could hand it out. But you need your container, don't you?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we do. Okay. Well, you probably won't need it.
Well, at least we'll drink it.
What is it, hot cocoa?
Yeah, hot cocoa.
I can tell it's leaking out the bottom.
Yeah.
Like hot
That
cocoa?
is why it is in the bag.
Yeah, that's a good day for hot cocoa. Yeah, I'm gonna have some coffee. Let's see. Oops. There, you get a shot of coffee. Coffee. Okay.
Hey, we're quarantining. Hey, back off 6 feet. Okay. Yeah, I'll do a coffee and do you have any? Somebody loaned me these gloves, but I want to give them back. Do you have any other good gloves?
Yeah, they're not. These are good. They're not matches, but they're pretty much the same.
I have to match. It has to match my underwear.
Okay.
These are warm. You think those are good?
Well, if you put something like this underneath and then
But I can't.
Oh no, probably gloves. Here, these will make it best.
This one's look warm.
Right here.
Well, that's a big one.
They don't match, but they're.
That's not a match at all.
I don't know.
You want cream and sugar in this coffee, boss?
No, it's just black.
Would you like a sandwich?
Black from the waist down.
Are you hungry?
Yeah, I'll do that. Oh, these are good.
You smoke?
Yeah. Are you serious?
More coffee. I
Is there
can't
napkins?
believe it. Napkins? Yeah.
Where'd they go? Probably underneath there. There you go. Let me go the other way.
Hello.
How are you? Good.
I brought a little more coffee, and I brought a truck if we're actually able to help people move their stuff.
Okay, good.
Are we?
Where are you going to be? You're going to be parked around here somewhere?
I'm right here. So I
they're
need a
not
place.
gonna
I
let
need
you
a
park
place to
there.
park. That's temporary, but
Yeah.
There was a space down the down the
right.
street.
Just tell me some.
Oh,
where to go.
go around the other side. Sorry, I don't know what I'm talking about, so I should just shut up. Oh, you got.
Well, he
sandwich?
asked for, yeah, he asked for 2.
Oh, good.
So they're getting used.
Yeah, good. There you go. Burritos, breakfast burritos in here. They're not hot. Sandwiches. Oh, these must be sandwiches. These feel like little subs. Here you probably made these.
Hang out.
Yeah, I'm just gonna hang out. I've got my coffee in there.
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah. All right. So this. All right, I'm down. What are you contemplating about? What? A couple of things.
The hot chocolate?
No.
Oh, the keg of beer. Oh, keg of beer.
Get your money back. All right, $17. 17. 25. You know how much I should call? It costs you nothing.
Wait, Gus did not do that.
Just kidding.
Yeah, that's
Busted my phone.
Alright, I'm walking at $17.
25. 24.
Tell it to whoever you try and give money
It went in the trash? Your stuff went in the trash, huh? Oh my god. I'm sorry, honey.
Khaled.
Sandy. Fuck Hancock.
I don't know. I saw you probably people find housing. He said no. And then he said the clinicians are. I said, well, where are the clinicians? He said, I don't know. I'm like, are those the clinicians just standing there?
Yeah.
So we have like 8 people standing around and doing something. And he basically said he didn't know why he was here or what he was doing. But he was here.
But he's just here.
Thank you for being here.
And doing nothing.
And doing nothing. And he was really rude.
Yeah.
And he was
Sorry, you were talking to who? A police officer?
no, someone from the fire department.
Oh, okay.
And he didn't know why he was even here. He just basically said coming up. He was here to clean up, is what he said.
A fireman.
Why Denver Fire?
Yes, right there. Denver Fire, right there.
Go do your job.
Do your job. Yeah, fire and rescue, right?
Is a large keg of Voodoo Ranger alcohol.
Oh, I love that. That Ranger. I love it. It's so good. It's so good.
What did you get from?
Where's the gift from a friend of mine?
A gift from a friend. We don't.
What is your name? I'm Carol. Maria? What's your name?
I'm Chloe.
Okay. I'm Carol.
Last name Media.
You're what? Media?
My last name is Media.
Okay, good. Cool. My last name's Funk. Yeah. F-U-N-K. Yes, I have to spell it every time.
Read it fast together.
Huh?
Both my name, my first name, and my last name. Read it together.
Chloe Media. Oh, you're funny.
I don't have one. After this week, this fence might be doing.
Oh, okay. I better be careful with this. So you guys are you with Christ in the City? Yes. Awesome. Oops.
I'm with Chloe too.
You're with Chloe in the City?
Yeah.
Chloe Media. Oh, silly.
And as taxpayers and business owners, we would like the city to provide services to these folks that include housing, that include sanitation, that include trash services. Because when people have their needs met, they don't feel the need to attack others, right? And so if we could try to help leverage for one another.
If I could interject on that. You know, obviously the people that are specifically there represent a small sliver. I don't think just like they're not all the homeless aren't representative of those guys.
Right.
But multiple times people have come to offer resources for them and they've refused. So that that's not like
and I get that, and I will say that if you look, at Maslow's hierarchy of needs, until you have safe space to exist, you can't really deal with your other issues. And so while I appreciate that they're coming and offering like mental health services or food stamps,
I'm talking about shelter. They'll be like, we can get you up here.
So shelters are less safe than being on the street, and oftentimes people make that very difficult choice to protect their safety and their well-being. And so, again, we made a conscious choice as a nation to defund public housing, and this is the result. This is the result of bad policy choices by our government. And us as citizens and residents need to hold our government accountable and say, you know what? This is the need of your constituents, and it is your responsibility to fill that need.
I think what you're saying is a good point. I do think that the whole picture is a little more complicated, and I'll explain what I mean by that. Yes, I think you're right for a large
Yeah, they're sleeping.
I think it represents a majority of people, especially a majority of them, but not everyone, right? It doesn't represent all people who are homeless. There are people there that and I know you're saying, oh, the shelters were dangerous, but they're not making the choice to stay out there simply because the shelters were dangerous. They're making the choice to stay out there because there's some rules around the shelter. They specifically said that. There are rules around the shelter I don't like. And I don't want to go to shelter. And that doesn't represent the majority, right?
So some of that is because of mental health issues, PTSD, not being able to take your partner, not being able to take your pet. And so there are lots of barriers to sheltering.
Sure, but those reasons are not like a bunch of people, my partner has gone and talked to them. They're like, hey, how come?
There's also quite a few mentally ill people in this camp.
Sure.
I actually was one of the people who started this.
Sure.
So I've been watching it for many months, and I know most of the people here.
Sure. And so my partner's talking to you, like, how come, like, why wouldn't you? He was just curious, like, why would you want to stay outside when it's -8 degrees? And then they've gone into the details of what it is, but it's not all just because you can't bring their dog and stuff. There's substance abuse issues, there's stuff like that yes, there are deeper issues that need to be resolved, but specifically for this camp and why people are leaving, I understand what you're saying, but it's not representative of every single person that's homeless, just like everybody that's...
All people want somewhere safe to exist.
Sure, of course.
And these folks are no different. And so they are mitigating factors that maybe you and I don't have to, but they make choices. They have autonomy and they have the right to make their choices just like you do. Given the choice of a house or an apartment or somewhere where you can safely exist and still have autonomy, or the street, all of them are going to choose to be indoors with their autonomy intact, as you would as well. And so sheltering isn't a choice for many people. I have been homeless. I have a master's degree. I run an organization, and I would not stay in a shelter. I don't have substance abuse issues. I don't have a pet. I would not stay in a shelter because they are not safe. And they do have a lot of rules that are not conducive to my lifestyle, that infringe upon my autonomy, and I have that choice.
Sure, but of course you have that choice to do that.
But it's a choice made between two hard choices.
Right, but correct. And you don't represent all the homeless people. That's your situation. But for some of the people out there, those choices aren't just based on that, right? There's some stuff. There's a 16-year-old boy who died of a fentanyl overdose over there on the corner there a couple weeks ago. His choice to stay out here wasn't just based on having a dog that can go to shelter, or I don't like the shelter.
There are not a lot of shelter options for youth.
Right. So, but I mean, substance abuse does play a role in this. There is a
It does, but the underlying cause is trauma.
Right.
Right, I understand that, and that's a deeper issue that needs to be addressed. But like in the mornings before my office, I'd seen there's a group that would go to the liquor store and get liquor as a group. And get it.
Right, well, that helps you stay warm.
Yeah.
Right, but that's not the only reason that, so that substance abuse issues play a role in it. And I just think to just deny it and ignore it.
I'm not saying that it doesn't happen. I'm saying that it doesn't happen at a higher rate than those who are housed.
I don't
And
know.
so it's acceptable if you're housed, but it's not acceptable if you're unhoused. If you're unhoused, people can say, that's why you're in that position. But you don't say that to people that are housed. You don't say that to people who are affluent, who are raging alcoholics. You don't tell them, you know what, this is because of you, because you drink.
Go, Anna.
You only say that to
Go,
people
Anna.
who have nothing.
Yes. Yes.
Well, it's also, I think it's a little more complicated than that, right? It's like people we're not talking about just people who have nothing, we're talking about people who have tents in an area that are keying people's cars, attacking people that work in their place, right? It's not benign.
They don't have safe space to exist, so when you don't have safe space and you don't feel safe, everything feels like an attack, so you're always on the offensive.
I understand it, but if you got personally attacked, right? There's empathy for yourself feelings, and then there's empathy for others, right? If I attack you, right, even if I'm suffering, any human being is going to start feeling less empathy for me.
I'm not denying what you're saying. I'm
I
saying
mean,
that
that's
we
just
could
natural.
work together to try and get a solution to this, or we could argue about it.
No,
And I'm saying, wouldn't it be more worthwhile if we work together to remedy this?
I think that's a good idea, but I'm just explaining this other side that I think is minimized, honestly.
I don't think it's minimized at all, because I think that is largely what the city is amplifying, is that,
Right.
oh, residents are saying this is a problem. Residents are saying there was a homicide. Residents are saying that there's drug use. Residents are saying that there's needles. We know. I walk camps all day long. I know.
So do you think,
What is the solution? Because we can complain all day long,
Chanel, hi,
but
love you.
until we get sanitation services, sharps containers, porta potties, and actually start building housing that is affordable and accessible to human beings, this is not going to go away. It is only going to get worse.
I agree with you 110%. I think addressing the deeper issues is a real thing, but I do think that, like you asked me, like when I came out here, honestly, it is tough on both sides. If you live here or you work here and you're afraid to leave work as soon as the sun sets, like that's a real
And
thing.
yet
That's
you
not
go
a
home to a
marginalized.
safe, and yet you go home to, I mean, I understand. I walk these camps. I get very upset, especially when I see people that I know. I know people that have died out here from the cold. Okay, that I knew personally, that I was helping. And so, yeah, it hurts. But you know what? I get to go home to a family who loves me. I get to go home to an apartment that's warm. I get to have hot food. I get to shower. And I get to have safety. And so when I consider that, the trauma that they're experiencing is thousands of times the trauma that I could potentially experience by walking through a camp.
But my question to you would be like, if you're a 20-year-old girl working in the office here and you get physically attacked, are you going to feel that same level of empathy and stuff if you get your life right?
I mean, I've been drugged and raped by my white boss, and that happens, right? It happens. I could go to work and not be
I think
safe.
saying,
I think homeless encampments. I mean,
Yeah, violence happens within the human population, regardless of the
but
setting.
I'm saying on a regular basis.
It does happen on a
I'm
regular
saying,
basis outside of homeless camps.
It happens by parents.
This guy is
but is that because of the homeless?
he's wearing scrubs. I don't know.
And I come and harass you every time you come home. That's different than just saying that happens, right? That's not the
They
same.
harass you every time you come home.
Ask the staff. Ask the staff what's been happening the last 6 weeks.
Well,
And the last 8 weeks.
and what I'm saying
There
is
have
that
been
to them,
attacks.
their tent is their home, and you are in their space.
Exactly.
Yeah, but is that fair? Is that cool?
Is that fair to them either? Because they don't get to have safe space anywhere.
I understand
and
that
they are
is the issue,
residents
but
of our city.
does that give
They're
them
human
the right-
beings
I'm
too,
not saying
and they're
it's
human
right.
beings.
I'm saying that if your staff could put themselves in their shoes and say, you know what, this is wrong. And I can understand why these people are pissed. And rather than getting my fragile feathers ruffled,
I think when you get pushed to the ground
to call the city and say, to call the
I don't
city
think
and
that's your
say,
feathers. That's not fragility.
But that's not okay. But what she's saying is this is their home, so maybe figure out a plan for your staff. Come out in 2s and 3s together. I get it. That's not okay.
And talk
but
to the city
figure out a
and say,
plan.
you know what,
I don't know.
we need to fix it.
Call Hancock. Call Hancock.
Like no
Talk to
What she's saying
That's
though
what I'm
is
saying.
that this is their home, so figure out a plan for the staff. Come out in 2s and 3s together. So you have to be uncomfortable walking your car, so come out with another.
It's not uncomfortable. Uncomfortable and being attacked are two different things, right?
So come out with a pair.
That's two different
come out with
things.
2 or 3 people to go to your car. Figure out a plan because
Talk to the folks at the camp when it's not a stressful situation and say, hey, we work here and we really don't have an issue with
saying
you
that
guys being here.
they're
Be
being
nice to our
attacked.
staff and build that
Walking
relationship.
out of their
this
office.
is okay, but there's
Call
not
your
an
city
alternative
council
right
member and
I
say,
understand
hey,
that, but I'm just saying that there's some pain that
I get it.
that to minimize it, negate it, to be like,
No,
no, you
that's
should
not
just be
what I'm saying.
understanding
No
about
one's
their
minimizing
that's
suffering.
not what I'm saying.
Oh, I
To
see.
just say
That's
their
not what I'm
suffering is
saying.
meaningless.
I see
Their
now.
suffering counts the
No
most.
one's
It's
saying
not
that's not
fair.
what
It's
I'm
not a
saying.
balance.
He is from
That's
this
not what I'm saying.
building right here. That's why he has his scrubs on. And this is
To go to the city
a
and say,
plastic surgery
we
place.
need some help at this
I've
place.
said that 100
When
times.
you work here, we don't feel safe.
100 times. They're will working on it. So, I mean,
Acknowledging what you're saying as
Yeah.
people are feeling safe. I just wonder if you think that taking people's tents, their only way of staying warm, is any kind of solution to that. Because really what's going to happen is people are just going to move a block over.
sure.
Right?
But I think on a day-to-day basis, when you have people who are working here, and these people aren't rich and like, driving Ferraris and stuff like that, they're just trying to make ends meet,
Yeah, I can
just
see
like
it.
everyone else,
Yep.
and you leave work and you're getting harassed over here by this gate. There's a reason there are no cars parked there.
But I'm just wondering what,
But I'm just saying,
when
like,
you called the mayor, like, what kind of help have you asked for? That's a sincere question.
we've been
I
like,
just wanna
can you
know.
get resources? Can you help these people out? Can you get them so they're not like out here
Oh,
like
Lucy.
gas propane tanks on fire next to an oxygen generator, which can cause a massive casualty event in this block. Like this is like I wrote a letter to the mayor. I said this is gonna end in a mass casualty event with that oxygen generator because there have been some fires here and they've gotten darn close to the oxygen. Oxygen is highly flammable, and they're like, okay, we're trying our best. And and I understand that they're limited resources and they're obviously.
Well, but there's not, because we just spent millions of dollars on new tasers for DPD,
Sure.
and so we have money, we just choose to allocate it not into affordable housing.
Sure, I understand, but there's many sides to it, right? There's suffering that's occurring on their side, which is severe, but it's not harmless. It's not like there's
I'm
it's
not
not
saying
like
it's harmless. I'm
right.
saying we should band together so we can find a solution to this.
I think people are
Because
trying to
your
do that.
concerns are the same as their concerns, are the
Sure.
same as my concerns.
Are they trying to do that? Or is that why this is going on
Including
today?
Unhoused, who also feel unsafe in encampments, who also want
Sure.
trash services,
I do
who also
feel
want to poop somewhere.
Sure, I do feel when I bring up those issues to you that your immediate responses are all directed as like, hey, they're suffering so bad, you should just be really understanding of it. I've
That's
never
not what
heard
I'm
you
saying.
once in the last 10 minutes say, hey, you know what? That would really suck if I was a 22-year-old girl and I was leaving work, I got pushed to the ground and someone stole my stuff. That would really,
daughter, and I would be very, very upset if this was her situation.
right, that would really suck.
And-
Right, like just some acknowledgement of that it is painful for the people that work here who trying to make a living.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because I didn't hear that once. In the last,
I'm sorry I didn't convey that. You are absolutely right. And there is hurt all around.
If my 20-year-old daughter worked here, I would be so afraid. I would probably come over to her car today, and I still have compassion for these people.
Sure, of course. No one's saying there's no compassion at all, but
Well, and it doesn't have to be an either or.
It's an and.
Right? It's an and.
as I said first, the moment you said something, I said, of course, I think I agree with you 110%. There's deeper issues that need to be dealt with. However, there is a dismissal for sure that I've heard right now in this conversation of people that are working here. That's like, and until I brought it up, and there's direct, I don't feel you guys trust them, then yes, you were like, yes, it's true, blah, blah, blah. But it's a real thing. There are people who've had surgery, walking out, other things, and then people are like harassing them. They have bandages on their eyelids. I mean, is that cool? Like,
No, harassment of anybody is not
Well,
okay.
harassment in general is not okay.
Right.
And you said, when I said that, you were like, or harassment, you were like, well, you have to understand, they've had trauma, blah, blah, blah. They have
I do think that
Yes.
we have to understand each other.
That's
For your staff and for them. I'm just saying that it's a lot harder
that's an
for them
excuse,
because of
not
the
a
conditions that
reason,
they're
right?
living in.
Those people count just as equal as those people,
Yes.
right? Both people have value.
You're talking to people, right, who spend a lot of time with people who are actually
where the research
of voiceless. Like this idea that you're saying that harms are being minimized. I think you can acknowledge that big picture, these folks' harms is being minimized. Like this is like they advocate for people with no power. These are the most vulnerable people in our city. So I think acknowledging what you said, you didn't feel heard. I'm sorry about that. But the context here is advocating for folks who are underserved.
Sure, I agree with that.
So I think that's
I agree with
what's
that.
going on.
Sure, I agree with that 110%. But I think it's important. Like if you're looking at it from a government planning thing, right? So like people live in the city, right? You need that tax base to fund stuff, right? So what's going to happen if the city becomes like I've gone to San Francisco and Seattle, it becomes like that and people start leaving. You're going to lose that tax base, and then you're going to have less tax revenue to divert to help people.
The same thing happens when you have you closed all your public restrooms so tourists can actually be in your city and being tourists and going to businesses. And so what we're saying is that if the city wanted to find a solution, we have lots of groups who are on board to working towards a solution that is good for residents, businesses, tourists, unhoused and housed.
Why do you
but
think
the city will not.
Why do you think they have? What would be the reason?
What they have stated to us is that because we have a lawsuit against them, they refuse to speak to us. But we've had to file a lawsuit because they refuse to speak to us. And so we're in this back and forth of, and I email Bodie regularly offering to go ahead of them and pick up garbage and organize encampments and get them on board with what the city wants of keeping them clean. But then they just blow me off. And so what we really need is cooperation from the city, because they're the ones holding all the cards. And yet they're supposed to represent me, they're supposed to represent you, and but they do not. And so how do we hold our city accountable?
Okay, cool. Sure. I mean, I think, I just think there's a balance.
Were you aware that there was a lawsuit?
I understand that there's a voiceless thing from the perspective, like, I just think, talking to other people in the city and talking to other businesses and stuff, it's a big deal. Like, I'll give you a small concrete example. Like, the people in the camera threw all this stuff in the garbage, and then that the guy who owns the building then ended up getting a $10,000 fine. And then he has to just pay that. It's like, too bad for you, buddy. And like, if someone just, and that's like, and then like one views it as like, oh, well, they don't have a place, so too bad, you just have to absorb that.
Not even they don't have a place, but like, we've asked for garbage.
Yes, but the point is, like, in that moment, while the solution is being solved, that guy is like, it's like, hey, $10,000 bill, take it, or we're
The problem is that the city is not wanting to provide
they're
that
there instead of being directed to an unhoused folks who would ask for a place to pick up and they use the city. Why not just everyone pick their trash? That's an
I hear what
externality.
you're saying, yeah.
So I just think that sometimes, like,
I guess we just want to redirect your anger in a way that is
It's not anger, it's just
or energy.
It's concern about, especially
I guess the point is that we're trying to redirect it in a way that is useful and that might help you get a solution rather than being upset at folks who have no ability to change that for themselves.
It's not about being upset at those guys. It's about the fact that there's a whole picture. The whole picture counts, and especially the one thing about the $10,000 fine, when there's physical stuff, and people, that's to just dismiss that and be like, you have to understand that they're suffering. So maybe you should go with 2 people at a time, and blah blah blah.
I have a camp this large outside of my building.
This is an alternative
solution,
because this is happening, and
So tell people, if my daughter worked here, I would say, do not go to your car alone. Make sure there's
Sure, of
people
course,
with you.
those
But
are
I'm not saying
workarounds.
that's not, like, this isn't okay, but this isn't okay. Like,
If somebody said to you at your house, I don't know where you live, but if someone said to you at your house, oh, there's the same thing happening at your front door, and then they're like, you know what, you have to understand how it goes, and the workaround is, you know what, you should just take the back door to your house. You'd be like, oh, okay, thank you for the
I
workaround.
have an encampment this
That's
large
absurd.
outside of my
but
building.
I'm saying this is happening, so
Sure.
we have to have solutions.
Sure,
I
of course.
actually asked my HOA if my friends that live here could come and camp on my property in Cherry Creek, and they said no. I put them and put them in. I asked my HOA, can I put them in front of my house?
Sure.
And in Cherry Creek North, I live in Cherry Creek North, and they said no, you can't have them here. We will get rid of them. I asked my HOA, knowing so little that I don't have to deal with them every day because I don't know what else to do as a human being. I'm not saying it's okay that you have to say come out in twos and threes. I'm saying that this is life. This is happening. So we have to figure out solutions.
But why is it saying
So I
that
have
this
a
is
camp
life to
this
them,
large.
but not,
But
you know,
it,
like
this
why
is
is
life
it
to
one
them
side?
too.
Sure.
They're trying to figure it out too. So why can't we all work together? Is it that hard to come out in twos and threes? Really? To your car?
But the staff comes out all as a group. Those incidents have happened everyone leaves at the same time. It's like all 5 employees leave. They're all girls. They leave at the same
I
time.
have a camp this large outside of my building.
I get it. I have a daughter that age. I get it.
I have a camp this large outside of my building, and I am the property manager.
Right, but I'm
Okay.
just saying, like, if you get
So,
your skull cracked,
what we have done,
your empathy is going to go down.
what we
And
have
that's just
done is
human
talk
nature.
to all of the
Right,
people.
Of course, you know, it's like
We don't
it's
have
not-
violence because we talk to all of the people.
You don't have violence.
We do not have violence around our
Oh, you're
building,
correct.
at the encampment around the building, and actually we had a very large encampment across the street of over 100 people.
Okay.
No, we've had experienced no violence because we go out there and we build relationships.
I'm just saying what's happening here. I'm not trying to speak of
Well, I'm
all
just telling you
homeless
some ways in which you could mitigate that if that should happen again. And that if you are able to have some conversations, I will give you my card. If this happens again, you could call me. I will come out here and talk to them. And I will explain to them that this behavior is not okay.
I understand
And that they need to work with the folks that work
people,
here.
I'm just going to let you know that most people, like, if they've been attacked, right? If you've been attacked, if I physically attacked you, and then you see me a week later over there, the odds that you're going to come up to me and say, let's do a workaround. I know you cracked my skull last week. Let's talk about if I tell my
saying
staff,
if you
right?
are interested, I
Right.
would be happy to do that.
I appreciate
and
that.
help
Sure.
mitigate some of these issues that you're saying that you're having problems.
Sure. So I mean, I appreciate your help. I think that's very helpful. But I'm just saying, from a human nature perspective, right? If I tell my staff, I want you to go out there and talk to them because I know you got attacked last week.
That's
but
not what I'm
She's
saying. That's not what I'm
someone
saying.
that's trained to
Sure.
work with
I'm
you.
saying that someone higher up,
Trained to
someone
work
with
with-
the, probably an administrator type of person,
Of who?
could come out here. And I've seen Denver Health do it, so I know it's possible. They'll come out and we'll go and we'll talk to the encampment together.
Sure.
And we mitigate some of these things, and we set up some boundaries to protect people's safety.
No, I understand that. I totally understand that. But I do think that there is a little bit of a spin that there's the
I'm
other
saying
side
work
is
has to be
mitigating.
done on both sides.
Right.
If you are willing,
When I came out here and I
if
talked about it,
business
that's all I
owners are
got,
willing.
right? No one was saying, I understand and feel, until I brought it. In this conversation, the last half hour, in the first 20 minutes, until I said, there's no empathy for these people, then you said, yes, I'm sorry if I didn't say that.
But I didn't even know that there was something had happened. I don't know. Did you know
There have been
something had
multiple
happened?
incidents.
But I don't know. I didn't know
They
that.
called the police. There's
I
so
mean,
many of those
But
things.
there's so many things going on with encampments. I don't know that something happened here until you said that. And all of us were like, no one is trying to downplay that interaction at all. That's not okay. This isn't okay. That's not okay. None of it is okay.
Sure.
We're trying to figure out how to work together.
Sure. No, of course. I think, and that's why I came out here. Like,
Thank
right?
you for,
Like,
and
didn't
thank you for coming out.
hide
because
my
this
place
was-
because,
I feel like that was really that's really brave of you to come out there and say, hey, this is going on with my staff and this is not okay. That's awesome that you said.
I don't know if you guys know this, but the owner of this place, when the encampment came to here and threatened him, and they're basically like,
I did not know that.
Yeah, and his car got keyed with a big "FU" all over it, and like.
He asked them to leave.
Put your card went out there, and he was like, he's the one that's been like, what's going on? How can I help you? Blah, 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 blah. So then when the sign came up, they were like, that MFer is the one that did it, they're like, we're getting it. And so
That's not okay.
yeah,
That's
so I
not
mean
okay.
that's a real thing,
Yeah,
right?
it's a
Like
real thing.
no one would be cool like that happened to them. Just be like, oh, I just feel like I'm homeless. Like, you know, you're gonna feel like you're like threatened. What's going on here, right? That's
Would you like a cup of coffee?
I'm cool, thank you. That's
All
kind
right.
of you, yeah. So
Anybody want
anyway,
coffee?
I think that's, you know,
I think I'll take another cup.
Cup?
Yeah.
Cream and sugar?
Just cream, honey. That's my cell number. If you have a problem here again with unhoused folks, please reach out. I'm happy to try and mitigate or get some sort of boundary set or relationship building. I'm happy to come out here and talk to folks.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Anna. Thank you.
Oh, thanks.
Excuse me, honey.
You want a sandwich? Are you hungry?
They're,
Breakfast sandwiches?
yeah, are there some? Oh, they're really good. They're hot. They're really good.
Is this hot cocoa? Here, let me check.
I think this is coffee. I think that's hot cocoa.
Okay. Cool. And your cream and sugar?
Just cream, honey. Thank you so much.
They're both coffees.
Usually it's in a can, one of those.
Is it here? Is this it?
Oh, okay. Hold on. Can you just pour that out over there?
Yeah.
Pour that out.
Oh, there you go, honey.
Hot cocoa!
Yay, hot cocoa. Let's see.
That's it. Okay, good job.
Okay. He's waiting. He wants a sandwich. He wants a sandwich, so let's give him a sandwich. Awesome. Thank you.
more, or is that-
That's perfect. Thank you so much. And then he wants a sandwich. And then let's get him a sandwich too.
Be careful with that lid.
Okay. Let me put my coffee somewhere that it won't smell here. Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Here, yeah, I brought these. They're trick gravy. Ready? Yeah, I'm ready. I got it. All right. Thank you so much. Okay. Yeah.
We want another one.
Yay. Okay, I'm going to set you down. You can look at the sky for a minute. Okay. Or the ground. These are turkey, cheese, egg. There you go.
One more left?
This is 3. You need another one?
Yes, please. I'm going to take one.
Please, stupid please. Let's see. If I can get it out. There we go. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Here. Let's do this.
What happened to it?
What? Wrap that? Yeah, yeah. Oh! Not too big with the water. No, it doesn't. Oh no, see? It's 'cause I got too many clothes on. Here. Here we go. Here we go, honey. There you go. Oh, see, look.
I'm telling you.
Oh my gosh. Okay, there we go. I'm going to step away from the water. Hi. Who says hi? Ash. Or Tara. See, I keep calling you Ash. Tara, hi, honey. I'm using the...
What you gonna push now? Move all that slush out of the food. I can't stand it.
Okay. Anyway, Tara, I used the leftover gravy from last night. I made turkey last night. Turkey and gravy and potatoes. I missed you. I'm glad you got a night off. Oh, I heard you had a dentist appointment. Hope your mouth is doing good.
In the first 2 minutes that I brought it up.
Yeah, I did remember that you said that, and I was going to bring that up. That this is a very small sliver of
This
just
is
the
Jesse.
homeless in Denver, right? Not to even consider the homeless in the rest of this country and the rest of like the world, right? And like, I don't think anyone's trying to like diminish the concerns that you're bringing up. Like Anna was saying earlier, like we know that these things happen. We're very aware, but like when you consider like the narrative from the media, which I think is what Ruby was trying to speak to, like with the narrative, like, you know, they never portray the homeless community in any kind of positive way. It's always just like, oh, well, they attacked somebody or they stole some crap or there's poop and needles on the floor, right? It's always that. And we are aware that those are problems. And people try to address those problems by like getting porta potties out. And then the city is like, oh, actually, we're just going to stop giving porta potties to people. And it's like, oh, so you're going to make the problem worse to help the narrative that the city of Denver wants to push, which is that homeless people are dirty and that they're violent and that they're going to attack people, right? So that's, I think, the larger narrative that people are trying to speak to right now, that we need to, as people who care about other people, which if you work in a hospital, I have to assume you care about people.
Sure.
Otherwise, I don't know why you would be there. And I'm sure that you care about the people here as well, right?
Sure.
So like,
It's interesting that you say that because it's so funny. I guess it's like just like any perspective, right? It's like the two perspectives view, like the media is like just representing the other side, because like a lot of they're just different people I've talked to. They feel like on the news it's like always like it's like no representation of like the opposite of how you feel, which is I think just interesting. Like I just think that's probably just how it works with, you know, like just two sides of an issue. You hear and you're like, they're not representing my side the way I want. It's interesting.
That's true. I think you'd be hard pressed to find good media about the unhoused community from like a major news outlet,
Right.
Not like, you know, Carol,
Independent.
or like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, I think that obviously
stories about the humanity of homeless.
Sure. And I've tried to, like, you know, to be honest with you, like talk to like when our staff or patients especially are like, I'm really uncomfortable here and blah blah blah. And be like, you know, like the bigger issue of like the people that are here that like whatever when you're leaving, they don't represent all homeless. It's like, you know, there's I think specifically that those group of people, I think it's not everyone, right? So it's like, I'm sure, I mean, I've never been homeless, but I'm pretty sure I was talking to my partner about it. I was like, if we were homeless, the first thing we're thinking of is how the hell do I get out of here in this situation? I'd be negotiating that. And I don't have a substance abuse or underlying psychiatric history that is going to make it harder, like whatever.
I
So
found
anyway,
it interesting
the
that
point
he
is
said,
that
I'm sure I'll
some
never
of the
be homeless.
people here who have like say 60-year-old offenders.
Well, I know,
right?
but
Like,
how many people
that's gonna
are
make it difficult,
on the
right?
brink of being
Basic
homeless?
human desires, food, food, clothing, and
Right,
shelter.
Yeah.
right, I know.
Actually, yesterday at the suite, somebody was trying to talk with the city workers.
Yeah.
The guys who like have the vests on right now, right? And he was just kind of asking them, and they weren't responding. But he was like, "How many paychecks away from this are you?"
Yes.
And none of them would answer. But it's like I know they're probably not getting paid that much.
Right, right.
Like they're probably minimum wage or just a couple bucks above minimum wage. And like, yeah, I think that's a big part of the problem is that people don't think, like house people don't think like, shit, that could be me.
Right.
But like, especially like with the pandemic, like right now, like there's so many more people who have come into homelessness. Like
I understand that it's kind of this like mental thing that people have to do just to protect themselves, to like be like, oh, that'll never happen to me, and distance themselves. But it's just like, the fact of the matter is that's not true. Like any of us, any person here who is housed could become homeless at literally any moment.
Well,
including this guy.
Right. If he has some kind of tragedy that happens in his life, you know, it could happen. It could happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
People move back into housing and back into being productive members of society.
Sure, of course.
And so then we need to try and find an alternative for these types of actions. And one of the things that we know works and that the CDC has recommended across the country and other places are doing. So other cities are doing it. Denver is providing trash sanitation services. When you provide those services, it creates a level of
I wish you.
Okay. All right. I'll be on the other side.
Oh, Talia made it.
Yeah, I like try to be patient, but that often fails. But I don't need to be. No, I've been
Okay.
for a long time, but lately, yeah, it's. We're back to
Don't, Ash Marie. Tara says, I'm trying to read because I don't have my glasses on. Don't listen to the news. They have a bias, yes they do. And are paid to desensitize us to the real issues. Poverty and mental health. Protect the neighbors. Yes, thank you. I love you. Hi, Ronnie. So, see what's going over here. Mask up. Oh. Hi again. Hassan. That's a cool name. Hassan.
Jesse's here, so Jesse got an SUV. Okay.
Hi.
Hey there. Hey, Paul, it's Mark.
I love you too, Karen. Look right into the trash. Can you see? Oh, all that stuff. Oh, so disgusting. This is disgusting.
it be? Wouldn't it be good if somebody could walk in there and help him pull his cart? That would be good. Through the freaking snow.
Hey, good morning.
And there it goes. I don't know where. He's going. So the snow is coming. Oops. I have gloves on and I can't. Okay, let's see. So the snow's coming down. Look. And it's cold. Close. I think. Couple sounds, isn't it?
Get rid of the light. The roaches.
I know. What do the roaches do in the cold like this? They just hide away?
Hang out in the apartment buildings.
That's right. They find the apartment buildings.
Yeah, they're housed. Roaches are housed.
Right. That's true.
Yeah, my last apartment. The roommates that never paid rent.
Oh.
Yeah.
The roommates that
Well, they drew blood.
Yeah. Oh my God.
They drew blood.
Oh.
Oh, the sun's coming out. That'll be
Oh,
nice.
I can feel it. I can feel the
Right away, you
sun.
can feel it.
Right away the sun. The sun is out. Is it? The sun is out.
I'm going to tell this guy we're just waiting for Jeff. So.
Let's talk to Jeff real quick.
Okay.
You're taller than I am.
Amanda, who's right there. Maybe if we can, these other guys are going to take their time. I think Amanda might be faster.
Okay.
So if you want to start putting that in this red truck.
Okay.
Is this your red truck?
It's not my red truck.
Laquita.
The
Hi,
red truck
Laquita
is
City.
waiting on James and Jeff, but Jeff is going to be like 3 more hours.
Oh, okay.
Hi.
Hi, honey. You're awesome. You're awesome. Thank you for what you're doing.
No, she told us she did, and now she just wants to go down the street. So, we're going to go down the street.
Okay. So these are this stuff here is for people that have a place to go.
Yes.
Yeah, or in a ride.
Yeah.
That's this truck right here.
Make sure that we are.
Yeah, awesome.
This has to stay separate.
Saved a tent, huh?
These two do not go with this stuff.
Oh, okay.
I'm telling you, I'm saying that out loud, so I
So you
remember
keep
that.
it in order. I understand.
shut up.
Yeah, I know we got some stuff here, so yeah, I want to make sure that it goes to the right place. Of the tarp.
And all of this will be from Amanda unless I say otherwise.
Laquita, DM, please. Thanks. Have just a few dollars to help. Hey, yes, I will. I'll figure out where you can send that money, honey. Here. I got Anna's card. What did I do with it? I put it in my pocket with it. With Denver homelessness out loud. Anna?
Thank you.
Oh, that's not her card. Anna, I'm glad somebody on the.
Thank you. No, you're all good.
It was a nice conversation. I really appreciate it.
No, thank you.
And do you have a website that or a PayPal app that people can send donations to?
Yeah, so on our website, which is denverhomelessoutloud.org, there is a donate tab that goes to our PayPal.
Okay.
We also have a Venmo, which is Denver Homeless Out Loud.
Thank you, Sue.
Yep.
Okay. There you go. Laquita, did you get that?
That's okay because we're starting to build a bridge. We gave him lots of things to think about, and he will go home and he will digest. And we all planted seeds, so now we just
Exactly. You did an awesome job, guys.
So I think it's
We do
always
need to plant our
worthwhile engaging with someone and trying to
It was a good thing that he came out to talk. Yeah.
push on their boundaries a little bit to be more expansive and inclusive.
You gotta move a long battle to win over the hearts of other people.
It's slow, you know. The revolution is not going to happen. It's going to be an evolution within each human being, and so that's really
love
what
that.
it is. That's what
That
it
was
is.
a good one. Mic drop.
That's my grandma coming out.
revolution is not going to happen. Wait, you said it's going
The revolution is not going to happen. It's going to be an evolution within each human being.
amazing. Are you ready?
And my mom keeps telling me that I should. I don't have time for
It's like the
it.
start of a poem.
I should just like speak it to a recorder and have somebody else type it up.
Yeah.
You did a really good job at the car. I gotta have you on tape. I should clip it for you. At the car protest. Was it at the car protest?
Yeah, they've asked me to come speak several more times. I think I'm going to try to go, but my schedule's going to change. I'm not going to be able to in the future, but
Yeah. I think the next
I
one.
I got a lot of good feedback on that.
Yeah.
And I really think it's because I push a unity message.
Yes.
And I think a lot of people can get behind that.
Yes. Yes.
And so I think, I mean, obviously that's what I push, so I think it should be done. But I think we should be building bridges rather than burning them.
Exactly. Exactly. I love you, honey.
So many words.
And I love what you do. Yeah.
Just like took that opportunity to go. But I think it ended.
I think I'm gonna wrap up this out and just leave them for whoever needs them. There's just a couple left. I'll go home. There's much else I could do here, but I got some good conversation. I think that's awesome. Let me wrap these things and sit you down again. I don't have much time. All right.
Yeah, I do have some magic.
Okay, look, we're gonna make the concept of my tires on the bike, you know, the big fat tires, real big ones, I want it shrined. The same size that she's like, so it's gonna be like that. Hey, if you don't get that lawnmower, hey, Khalid, if you don't get that lawnmower, I'm taking the engine out of that. No, you're not. Well, then get it off my property.
That's not your property.
That's my property.
You're in possession of my property.
No, I'll throw it away.
No, okay.
I don't want that eyesore there.
Kathleen, you're not going to tear apart my lawnmower. My lawnmower is thanks, no.
Yeah, I'm gonna get going this. So, are you trying to get rid of a lawnmower now?
Would you like my one?
No, I don't need a lawnmower.
I'll give you a deal. Full service as well.
I'm full service. Yeah? Yeah. Everybody take care. Okay, bye-bye. Yeah, we'll see you. You too. Bye, honey. Yes. Bye-bye. Bye, Maria. Bye. Good conversations today, so that was a good thing. One good thing. Remember, guys. Remember, we have a duty to fight for our freedoms. And we have a duty to win. And we must love and support one another. We have nothing to lose but our chains. Oh. So, everybody stay warm today. In your cozy houses. And think about the conversations we had today. And the mindset of people and how we can maybe come together, find some solutions. So I love you. Have a wonderful day. Talk to you later. Oh, goodbye.